laughing and start leaning over and messing up my shot. I don't be messing your shot up. Why do I mess your shot up? You really gonna yell? Mm-hmm. You do it one time, so I can say you don't do it. 1, 2. We're pregnant! Look at her like
I need you to do it exactly
how
you do it.
Because
if I mess around be too loud, it's gonna be looking goofy.
You never too loud.
I'm gonna say, we're pregnant! That's all I'm gonna do.
That's right. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We're pregnant!
She gonna dance. Oh, she happy.
Hey guys, it's your girl, Miss Britney M.
And I'm DC, aka Tootsie Roll, aka Palm, aka
what's the one name you probably got now, boy?
Dad.
No, what's the other one?
Papa.
The other one?
What other one?
My baby daddy, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
So from the title of this video, as you guys can see, we are pregnant.
Yes.
Pregnant. This has been one of the hardest things to keep to myself. And it's been 4 months.
I'm surprised you did it.
I'm surprised I did it too.
Yeah.
This has been one of the hardest secrets and the hardest like life milestones that I've kept to myself for the last 4 months.
4 months, yeah.
And I've gone through so many different emotions with him, as a woman, like just in my own little head. So it's been a lot. These past 4 months has been a lot, but I cannot wait to share with you all. But before we start this video, the reason why we decided to announce so early is because a couple of you, and I'm actually gonna call you out right now. So I'm gonna let Pum shout y'all out because some of y'all were in my comments
for weeks, for months,
congratulating me, and we haven't announced anything, mentioning it, swearing it,
they're peeping it,
peeping it. I made this vlog and you guys were like,
I see you next year.
What you having?
I don't know what's going on. But you guys have been in my comments just ruining the
They be watching, they be paying attention, they be knowing.
watching. Okay, so read this one. Say her name first. Shout out.
This is Mrs. McNeil. Wait, OMG, you're so cute. I want to say something, but I don't want to be that girl. And then be wrong, but congratulations on all your many blessings.
So that was one.
McNeil.
That was one. Shout out to you, sis. You were spot on. Who else you got?
Somebody who's this? Gabrielle Ebony? Wait a minute. But anyway, congrats on everything.
So she puts, wait a minute, da 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 da.
Lexi Monet, congrats sis with a bunch of faces. I see you. Such a blessing.
So you peep.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said you're getting thick. Oh, somebody said sis. Sis. Congrats. That's what Shamila 868.
Shout out to you, sis. We was here. We was here.
Somebody says, sis, it's Shami 868 again. Sis, you peep what I peep or I'm tripping. Blessings either way.
She peeped.
And then somebody has a life as Flange, I guess you say Flange. Back to Shami. True sis, I peeped it all, honey. With a bunch of Y's. LOL. I love the little hints you threw. And I didn't know you were throwing hints. You talking about I love y'all so much that they caught you.
So you guys have been peeping. You guys have been putting 2 and 2 together. 1 + 1 = 2 in y'all world. And y'all were right. Y'all were right. Me and Pump didn't want to confirm or deny. So I want to take it all the way back and share with you all how I found out I was pregnant, how I told Tootsie Roll, and then our reactions and how the past 4 months have been for the both of us. So first, let me just say, during this time, me and Pum were probably fasting for like 2 weeks. It wasn't long at all. Was it 2 weeks when we were fasting?
It's about 2 years.
It was like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I knew that my cycle was going to come on. And so I'm feeling all the symptoms. So I go and hang out with Britney, the host. And I actually have a few clips because she was vlogging this day and I wasn't. Yeah. I leave Tootsie Roll that morning. I leave Tootsie Roll's place. I go link up with Britney, the host. Make sure you guys subscribe to her YouTube channel. She has been so supportive throughout this whole journey. And we're just hanging out, having girl talk, and she goes, you know, how are you? And somehow we get on the topic of my cycle not coming on yet, but me feeling all the symptoms. So she's like, if I were you, I would take a test. So I literally tell her, like, no, that's impossible. Like, that's the last thing I need to worry about. I'm not wasting my money. Like, I don't need to do that. So she's like, come on, I'll take one with you. Like, we don't have anything else to do. Target is right here. So I'm like, fine. I'm thinking she wants to do this for her vlog channel. That's just like, you know, additional content we can do for YouTube. And so she takes a test. I take a test. And I literally throw my test in the Target shopping bag because I already know my test is negative. So we get back in my car. Her test was negative. I already know for a fact my test is negative. So I don't even look because I'm that confident. She's blogging and she goes, Brittany, you didn't read your test. So I'm like, okay, let me just read it for the sake of her video. Y'all, I'm so nonchalant, and I literally grabbed this test and I kind of just look at it and roll my eyes because I know it's already negative. But when I glance at it, it says positive, and literally my whole life just flashed before my eyes. I'm like, and I don't know, at first I thought she was trying to prank me, but it was my Target shopping bag, and I know that I peed on that stick. I bought that pregnancy test and I threw it in that bag. So I'm like, wait. And like my whole world just froze for like 3 seconds. And she's like screaming in my car. She's so excited, and I'm like,
he froze.
I'm really pregnant. Like I couldn't even like grasp what was going on at this time. And so my natural reaction is to call my best friend Cavell. And I needed to see her face and hear her reaction for me to believe that it was real, right? So I call her and I have the clip. I'll throw it in here. And I go, Cavell, I'm pregnant. And Cavell thinks everything I do is a prank because naturally I'm a YouTuber. So she's like, girl, it's not time to be joking about this. Like, you're not pregnant. So I'm like, Cavell, I'm dead serious. I'm pregnant. So I flip the camera and show her the pregnancy test, and she hears Brittany in the background screaming and excited, asking me, when am I gonna tell DC? And Cavell's like, oh my God, and Cavell starts to cry. But as Cavell's crying, she's like happy tears, she's so excited. So naturally I look at her in the camera and it's starting to hit me. So she's like, what are you thinking? And so I look at her in the camera because I'm about to cry. So I'm like, what are you thinking? And then she, literally, y'all, the first thing my best friend says out of her mouth, DC adores you and he's an accountant. What are we talking about here? And I literally was like, yeah, you're right. That was a good point. And so as soon as she gave me that one sentence, like, he adores you, he's an accountant, what are we talking about? I was literally like, okay, I'm gonna call you back. I think I'll be okay. And so I hung up with her and I was like, that was a pretty valid point. And so I felt a little better, but I needed to call one more person because I still didn't believe it. So we hang up with Cavell and I call Katrina, my coworker.
Oh Lord.
Y'all, Katrina is like my life coach, like my mentor, but Katrina is also very, very honest. So the fact that Cavell gave me her reality, I needed to hear it from one more person. So I FaceTime Katrina and I'm like, Katrina, I'm pregnant, right? But I'm like smiling. And Katrina literally jumps up, and we're on FaceTime. She jumps up from the couch. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, yay! And just to see her reaction, it was so comforting and so like satisfying. And so I go like, what do you think? Like, what do you think? And she's like, what do you mean? And she's like, I'm so excited. Totoro loves you so much. And once she said that, I was like, okay, I'm pregnant for real. Like, I think that's just all I needed to hear. I needed to see someone else's reaction and response and opinion for me to really just be like, got it. So I hang up with Katrina and I asked Brittany to like leave because I'm just so like emotional that I'm like, all right, sis, I gotta go. So Brittany gives me this long hug filled with like, she's just embracing me, you know, during this time. She gives me some advice. She gets out my car and I'm headed to DC's house. So I'm headed home and he's texting me like, hey, I'll be there in like 5 minutes. He still doesn't know anything. And I just remember on my drive home, I'm like, we have options, because y'all know I'm very realistic. I'm like, we have options. And I didn't want him to feel like, the last thing I needed to hear was, I'm supporting whatever you want to do. I did not want to hear that. So I was just like, because me and him never really talked about this, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to expect. Just a background. Pum, tell them how much of a planner we are naturally.
Yeah, just big planning 2 or 3 years down the line, knowing what we want to do at graduating college and what we want in our bank account, when we want to do this and do that. So this is just a wake up moment. It was something different.
So what was our original plan before this whole thing?
So I'm about to start graduate school, so we were waiting to like just get proposed, get married later on. After that, some time, get a house, get a couple of houses, flip some houses, buy some trucks, do all kind of things. It was then think about having kids and stuff like that. So that's about 5 years down the line, maybe. So
Yeah.
I just remember I was on the out driving around. I got a car wash or something, and I knew y'all was at Target, so I was actually coming to Target just to see what they were doing when they was taking pictures. And then when I got there, I didn't see you, but I seen Britney, the host, leaving. And I actually tried to stop her, but she just kept on shooting. I guess she was focused on something else, but she was leaving as well. And I thought they was gonna be there for a little bit longer, so I was like, I wonder what they're leaving for. And then you called me, so I came home. I seen you videoing me, but you never told me. I think you have that video still, but you never told me anything. So we get into the house, and I think you just show it to me and say you're pregnant. And I'm like, and I'm thinking at first, because once again, just like everyone else, Britney always playing. Britney wants someone to vlog or something. I don't know. So I'm like, okay. I don't think it's April Fool's Day, but alright, it's cool. Okay, yeah. And then she actually showed it to me and was like, yes. And I think she started crying a little bit or something. And I was like, oh, she's for real. She is for real. And I was like, wow.
And then I remember Tootsie Roll just like burst in this smile. Like he was so happy. And I was so just to see him so happy, I felt so much better. I was like,
it was completely random news out of nowhere, but it was like I really was like, it didn't really hit me yet, but at the same time I was like, wow, this is fun. This is gonna be something new. Like it was fun. I don't know. It was I was definitely happy. Then we started calling a couple people, so it was definitely a happy moment.
So in my pregnancy test, I had one more test. So I peed one more time, and then I came out, and I feel like for him that was like.
When I seen it, yeah. When I seen it, I was like, okay, she's not playing.
She's like really pregnant.
Like people always say, you can't really plan for a baby, but I was still trying to plan, trying to move around. Guess what am I doing with now? I guess that was kind of the feeling. So I know that the baby's coming. We still got like 9 months. So at this point, I'm like, in my mind, I'm trying to prepare and I'm trying to get things ready and trying to get things set up. Because I'm still one of those people that think everything needs to be perfect when things happen like that. So that was kind of what was running through my mind, how to make the situation better, I guess.
How did you feel?
I was still happy. I was still a little nervous, of course, as I'm going to be. I wouldn't say worried or anything like that, but I was definitely nervous, anxious for sure. Just the journey, and I knew it was going to be a lot. It was going to be fun going through this with you. So that's kind of what I was thinking about. It was a lot of different thoughts going through my mind. So.
I think that was my thing too. I think the biggest thing for me was that I don't have any family out here. So, and when I say that, of course I have my parents who are so supportive and amazing, and I have my older brother who is awesome, but that's all I have. And so that was one of like my insecurities as far as getting pregnant, because I'm like, wow, I don't have my grandmother here. I don't have my aunties or my older cousins. And you know, I just don't have my entire family a drive away or a few, you know, miles away from me. All I have is my household, and that scared me. Then I thought about my kids being from Atlanta, and I'm like, all right, my kids are going to be from down south. They're going to have the accent. They're not going to grow up in the city. They're not going to grow up north. So that was another thing I was thinking about.
I think I was thinking about my family as well. So I'm the oldest of all my siblings. So I was really nervous about, because I've never been through this with any of my other siblings like some younger siblings do. So I was going to be the first one. So yeah, I did feel pretty confident about starting a family with you. I don't know. It was just, we've already established this partnership, and I knew just going into that and meeting you that you were a type of person that I could see myself with long term. So beginning a family and being able to pass down some of those traits that we've learned together and just working together is something that I knew I was interested in doing. It was something I feel like would be very fun. So
that's good.
I'm very happy about that. So
me too. I feel like we both were just very happy that we're starting a family with each other. Could you say that?
Yeah.
And so yeah, so tell me about the first appointment.
the first appointment, we go in. So this is when this is like the peak of COVID-19 kind of going crazy in the pandemic. So we get there. I go in with her, and I notice there's no guys there with all the other ladies in there, and they actually tell me that I couldn't stay. So I was in there for her with the minute just to support her and be there for her. I wanted to bring her myself and things like that. Took off work. So while she was up there, I actually had to sit in the car. So
that was very, very, it wasn't depressing, but it was just very different. Because I never imagined going to my first doctor's appointment alone, like without my parents, without my significant other. Like nobody could go in with me. And when you're a new mom for the first time, you don't even know what to ask or what to expect. You don't know what's right or wrong. So that was like, I honestly feel like this may sound dramatic. I felt like that was the first time I felt like a mom, because I really had to be like, you're an adult and you have to take care of this child, and you can't be uncomfortable. Like this child is kind of depending on you to be strong. I kind of felt like, yeah, and every appointment since I've been on my own.
You did a really good job though.
Thank you, pumpkin.
Me being a parent, so like I said, I have 3 younger siblings, so I always joke and say I basically raised them. So I know it's gonna be different than raising a baby, an infant. But I feel pretty confident, and all your friends have faith in me. It's like, this is gonna be the best dad ever and all this. So I'm really excited to prove them right.
Oh yeah, like he has been the best support system since I've been pregnant. Yeah, I'm just really, really grateful. One thing I can say, who you have a child with, I never noticed how much that matters in the process. So even once I found out I was pregnant and hearing everybody's reaction, when I go to sleep at night, I am just so thankful that I am starting a family with DC. I couldn't imagine starting a family with anybody else. Like, I'm so grateful. I'm so happy that I actually have like this whole new family that God has blessed me with. Like, I don't want to spoil the next video, but yeah, I just honestly feel like I have, like, because of his family, I feel like I have like a million cousins, and I have like siblings that are really supportive and excited, and his parents are like super mom and dad. It's just really, really nice.
And they don't hesitate to reach out to her and let them know how they feel. So
and like all his female cousins reach out to me consistently, and they just share a bunch of advice. It's just so nice. It's kind of like everything that I was so insecure about, God literally kind of just provided for me in DC's family or in DC himself, and that's just awesome. So I'm really excited for us to be parents.
Really excited. All right, guys, we appreciate you guys being so supportive. If you have any questions or comments, put them below. Holla at you.
Adios.